just goes booming right at the keeper. He's got the ball on the ground, so it's like, yeah, you know, and stuff like that. It really, I thought we were going to pay a price for a lot of those near chances. It just didn't really go in, and the keeper, I know his name, he did a real good, solid job. He's a big kid. He's a class goalkeeper. Now let's go. Yeah, stay in there. Yeah, and then. But I thought that, yeah, he came up with the big saves when he needed to, and I thought Collinsville worked real hard. Now, having said all that, yes, once you score the first one, then 2 amps. But then all of a sudden, it's so much easier for the next ones, because then people, as they go through, they're going to be a lot more calm and relaxed on it. Now, that said, when you look at, you know, for example, like Baines, I mean, well, he does a great job of getting in there. But at the same time, at that point, it's point-blank range. It's just going to go. But yeah, the first goal is always extraordinarily critical, and so we finish it. Yes.
4 more yellows tonight.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one. You know, in some cases, it's like you shrug your shoulders and just look at the sky, and it's like, I don't understand. But at the same time, it's like, you know, games like this, we've really only had a situation in 3 games. The rest of the time, we've hardly had a card in the whole thing. So, to be honest with you, explain it to me. But that's the way it goes in some of this. And now, you know, at times in some of our games, it's just knock it around, and that's just the way it'll be. But this one here was a critical game. You had to play. And to be honest with you, too, this, you know, I'll go this direction a little bit, too. And, you know, hopefully, hey, you know what, please don't get me in trouble. But let's face it, whenever you're playing on smaller field, cards are going to come. It's as simple as that. So it's as much environment and whatnot, it's as much of who you're competing against. In Collinsville, it's a rival that all of a sudden those things are going to happen. Definitely not blaming officials, so, you know, it's none of that. But at times, you know, again, if it's a narrow field and it's high school and it's boys, what do you expect?
So what do you say to the kids to kind of keep, you know,
as far as card situation?
Yeah, moving forward here.
Well, I lit them up huge, you know, a week ago. And in fact, if they got a yellow card in the first game of the Morton tournament, they were going to sit for 3 games. So that was certainly a step in a direction. But, you know, it's not like if other teams have our schedule, they're going to end up with the same amount of cards we do.
Right.
And so ours is just a stiffer one. And really at this point, it's a thing that, you know, forget the rule. I don't want cards in first place anyhow.
Right.
So I think... you know, going into the next game, to be honest with you, we're not going to get a card at all. And when you look at the next weekend, we'll play normal. Guess what? We're going to get 0 cards in that game also. So at this point, it's knock it around, and that's the way it is. And with the Sept, you know, even a rocker game like that, well, you know what? You just got to play a little bit differently. It's just the way it goes. So, and depending on where it's at, in this case, Southern Missouri, chances are there probably won't be any there either. Not sure why, but it probably won't. So, but you know, it is a thing that I think you have to watch, and in some cases, you certainly have players. It's high school, and that needs to be a lesson. And everybody has to keep emotions in check and those sort of things. And so I think everything is a learning experience, and well, we'll have to go ahead and, you know, learn in some cases.
Thanks, Mark.
Final question.
No worries. Yeah, go ahead, ask.
Final question for me. Do you think
Sure.
it was you know, this was the team that knocked you guys out in the regional championship? Do you think there was a little bit of emotion because of that? No.
No, and you know, I'll say because we really didn't address it, and the kids had more than ample time to discuss that from last year. I honestly think it's just that we respect Collinsville as a team. The game is very quick paced, and I think that given that the game, no matter what there is in terms of history, was always going to be a little bit more there. And you can tell by their coaching staff and everything as far as how excited they are, et cetera, in a good way, that the game has meaning for everybody around the field. Listen to fans, listen to our fans, look at their coaches, look, you know, I'm trying to be a little excited, but I'm a subdued guy. And look at the players, and there's no question, if we play it again, play in the playoffs or not, it's always going to be an exciting game down here.